All good. We can start with them.
Perfect. Thank you. Once again, a very good afternoon to everyone in Indonesia. My name is Vipin Bishnoi, and I'm the Regional Director for James Cook University Brisbane campus for Southeast Asia. So I'll be the point of contact, of course, for Yes Education. Every time you have any questions or require anything urgent, I'm always available, and I make sure we respond on time. And because time is of essence for all of us in this industry, and we respond quite quickly. So, just a bit of an introduction about myself. Today, we will be talking about James Cook University, specifically about the Brisbane campus. I know you all are aware of what James Cook University does because we've got four campuses. Singapore is a very popular campus choice for a lot of Indonesian students. And then we do have three campuses in Australia as well, Townsville, Cairns, which are our main campuses, and then the Brisbane campus, which is actually an international campus for the university, very similar to Singapore, but Singapore is based outside Australia, and of course the Brisbane campus is right in Australia in Queensland. So the student population on our campus currently, if I have to give you an idea, we host around 1,300 plus students at the Brisbane campus, out of which 95% of our students are international students, only 5% domestic. So that basically gives you an understanding on what we do here. We mainly focus on the business programs and the support services, which of course I'm going to talk about in my presentation. So just wanted to give you a bit of a gist of what we're getting into and what we do as a Brisbane campus. Now, during my presentation, of course, I would like to take the liberty to talk a bit about Brisbane because it's quite important from a student's point of view to understand what the city has to offer them, not just the university and not just the qualification that they're going to go into, because international qualification at the end of the day, it's an experience from an international student's point of view. They're getting into a new country. It's a different atmosphere for them. So what the city has to offer to them, how welcoming the city is, of course, is we're going to get into the courses offered, the quality of education that they can expect at the Brisbane campus, what makes JCU Brisbane different as compared to a lot of other universities that are available for the student to choose from, and definitely the scholarships and the tuition fees that we have on special for the Indonesian students. And we'll have enough time towards the end for any question and answers if you have any. Moving forward, just a bit of about JCU Brisbane again. We James Cook University was established in 1961, so we're the second oldest university in Queensland after University of Queensland, which is of course part of Group of Eight and one of the most prominent universities, specifically for the Indonesian students because of all the scholarship opportunities and the sponsorship opportunities that they have available. But we're the second oldest university based here in Queensland. Now, Brisbane campus, we've been operating for nearly 20 years. So we will be celebrating 20 years next year in 2006, which is a big achievement for us. And we've steadily been maintaining anywhere between 1,300 to 1,600 students on campus. So it's a campus which has been well loved and accepted by our international student community, and we've been able to of course nurture those students and provide the amount of opportunities that we could, where students still call Brisbane home. And of course, we have a big set of alumni network in the Southeast Asian region. Very diverse community and supportive environment. As I mentioned earlier, currently around 1,300 students. And 95% of them are international students. If I have to give you a bit of a breakdown amongst those nationalities, currently we host around 39 different nationality on our campus. So it's a very diverse community, very multicultural society that we have built on our campus. And everything that we do is designed in a way that we're supporting our international students who come from different parts of the world, of course, coming from different backgrounds, non-English speaking backgrounds. And the way we support them, we help them to succeed in their careers. Globally recognized for academic excellence, of course, students support and employability. In terms of ranking, of course, I'm going to cover some of those rankings in my upcoming slides, but it's the student support services and the employability opportunity that we provide to our student, which basically makes us different as compared to a lot of other competitors, if I can say it, or other university options that students have available in the Brisbane CBD. Our main focus is on employment, student needs, and personal attention. A student not just a number for us. Because we are a tight knit community, we are a vertical campus in the heart of Brisbane CBD. We actually know our students, not just by face but by name as well, and that makes a huge impact on a student's journey at the university. One question I ask literally during every training that I do or every interaction I do with my partners is, we all have been to university, we all have had our studies done at some of the other institute, and when we talk about a university, how many times do we get an opportunity to spend one-on-one time with our campus team? And the simple answer that I get to that question in most instances is, oh, we saw our campus dean either during our orientation or during our graduation. You don't get an opportunity to meet them or spend some quality time with them. Whereas on our campus here in JCU Brisbane, our students have an opportunity literally to meet their campus dean when they wish to, because the campus dean is available for the students. And it's not just the campus dean, it's all the support staff, it's all the lecturers, all the professors who are available on campus. We are there for the students. And campus dean literally goes down throughout the campus every day for a tour, just to greet students, meet students, understand their needs, and of course, improve their learning experience on campus. So it's all about that experience that a student gets at the university, and that's what we do different. We do it in a way that no other provider is able to support the students, and we're very proud of that heritage that we have built for over 10 to 20 years now. As I said, we're celebrating 20 years next year for the Brisbane campus, and we're very proud of that achievement. Moving ahead, calling Brisbane home. Now, Brisbane, as we all know, is the third largest city in Australia, but we are the fastest growing city in Australia. The last icon on this screen, of course, says 2032 Olympics, which is a big deal for us. Now, Sydney became Sydney after Sydney Olympics, and we are basically aiming for similar growth, and we're already seeing that growth in the city. When we talk about growth, it's not just about the infrastructure, it's not just about population, but it's about the opportunity that it brings in for people who live in the city. Employment opportunities, of course, career opportunities, business opportunities. So the pace that we are growing at the moment is just exceptional, and I see clearly the amount of opportunities it's generating, not just for Australian citizens, but for the international community that has been coming in. And we've seen the highest growth of influx in regards to people moving into Brisbane, not just internationally, but domestically as well. People from Victoria, from New South Wales, from Western Australia, they've been calling Queensland home, Brisbane home, because they see the amount of opportunities that are coming in. So from a student's point of view, from an international student's point of view, of course, you're looking to build your career, you're getting into a city, you're looking for those long-term opportunities. And honestly speaking, Brisbane is the place to be, because we are preparing for the Olympics, and it's going to generate endless opportunities for the students. No specific background I'm going to mention, because whether you're from a business background, engineering background, health background, any field that you take, there are opportunities for you. Now, Brisbane hosts Australia's largest welcome festival for international students. We host that every year, which is again bringing all different communities together, all students together, and showcasing what Brisbane has to offer. In just the last 1 year, we've 75,000 international students from over 160 countries have chosen Brisbane. So that shows the increasing demand for Brisbane education, and of course, the outcome that the students are achieving. Now, Brisbane is Australia's fastest growing capital city, as I mentioned earlier, and nearly 30% of Brisbane's population was born overseas, and that reflects the multicultural society that we are building in the city right now. Again, my favorite point, where Brisbane is gateway to some of the best beaches in the world. So one hour down south is Gold Coast, 1 hour up north is Sunshine Coast. Byron Bay is not too far, and it's not just about the beaches. If you like the mountains, if you like the inland beauty that Australia has to offer or Queensland has to offer, we've got everything around Brisbane. So international education is not only about education, not only about learning, but it's about the experience, and that's what we're talking about here. So Brisbane has something for all kind of backgrounds, all kind of students coming in, depending on their interests, and of course, depending on what they're here to do. Moving ahead again, in terms of ranking, I'm not going to go through all of them, of course, because they're available online. But I'm really proud of saying we're number one in Australia for full-time employment rate and number one in Australia for learner engagement as well. 5 stars for full-time employment. Now, this is something that we're very proud of because, again, I'm going to talk about this in my future slides, how we are achieving this. But this is something that we've achieved and maintained for the last 7 years consistently. 5 stars for full-time employment and graduate starting salary. We have an organization that we've set up on campus for our international students, which is called JobLinks, which of course I'm going to give you more details on that. But JobLinks is a job placement company that helps our students not just while they're studying in regards to internship opportunities or part-time opportunities, but after they graduate, we do support our students with full-time opportunities as well. And I'll give you more details on that. Of course, it's important to talk about this when we are counseling students because it's their career decision that they're making. It's a big investment for them, and the outcome that they receive from their investment is quite important. So yes, we're maintaining really good rankings at the moment with the programs that we are offering, and that should be from a student's point of view. Of course, they want to look at these rankings. So I would highly recommend that when we are counseling students, we do mention about these rankings to the students. Now, at the Brisbane campus, as I said in my initial statement, we mainly focus on business, but there are some other programs as well. Because we are a city campus, we're based right in the heart of Brisbane CBD, very close to public transport, very close to all the amenities that the students are looking for. But at the same time, because we are a vertical city-based campus, we focus on very limited programs. So at the moment, we have offerings available for accounting, business, hospitality, and tourism, education only at the postgraduate level, information technology, and of course, engineering management as well, again at the postgraduate level. I'll elaborate more on the exact programs which are available in my next slide. But in regards to intakes, we offer tri-semesters here in Brisbane. So there are 3 start dates, which actually aligns with all our James Cook University campuses, January, May, and September. So we have the September intake, which is coming up now, and that's the main focus. Now, if you have students who are ready to apply or are looking for an opportunity, September intake, we're still accepting applications, so you can just fill out the form, send it directly to us, and we'll make it happen for you. Now, at the undergraduate level, our main focus is business. So we do offer bachelors of business with 4 different majors to choose from. Students have an opportunity to do international business, management, business intelligence and information system. Now, this is a program which came from bachelors of IT for students who actually wants to have that IT element in their degree, but they don't want to do the full IT undergraduate degree for 3 years. So they can still choose to do a bachelor's of business, but choose a major of business intelligence and information system and add that IT component to their business degree, and hospitality of tourism management. Going further, we do have a full Bachelor's of Information Technology degree available, Bachelor's of Commerce with focus on accounting, and a complete Bachelor's of Tourism, Hospitality, and Events degree. All these programs, of course, are 3-year programs. And just taking a step back, when I mentioned we do offer tri-semesters, now 3 start dates every year, January, May, and September. Every trimester, the minimum study load is 3 subjects. So a student actually is doing 9 subjects in a year as compared to a semester system where you do 4 + 4, 8 subjects. So it becomes an automatic fast track program. What I mean by that is you're doing 9 subjects in the first year, you're doing 9 subjects in the second year, and by the time you reach your 8th trimester, you are graduating from the university. So it's a fast track program which makes you complete a bachelor's degree in just over 2.5 years, and you save more than 4 months in your education journey and get into the workforce early. Or if you're looking to do a master's degree, you can get into your master's degree early. So it's an automatic fast track program under the trimester system. You complete your 24 subjects in 8 trimester rather than using full 9 trimesters in 3 years. Moving ahead to our postgraduate program, a few extra options available for students. So we do offer Masters of Business Administration. MIT, there are two majors option available for students: Business Informatics and Computing and Networking. Masters of Professional Accounting, Masters of International Tourism and Hospitality Management. And then we do have Masters of Engineering Management and Masters of Data Science. Now, with all the single majors that I've just mentioned, Masters of Engineering Management and Masters of Data Science are the only two programs where students need a cognate background, a similar background to meet the entry requirement, academic entry requirement. All the other majors that we have on offer, including the accounting, IT, business, or hospitality, we accept students from all backgrounds. So to meet the academic entry requirement, you need to meet the requirement of AQF level equivalent to a bachelor's degree in any discipline, and you can still apply for all these majors. Only for engineering management and data science professional, you need to have a similar background to be able to be accepted at these two degrees. So that's a great opportunity for students who might have studied something different, but they've developed interest during their work tenure let's take an example of IT, and they've had some IT experience. They can apply for that degree and continue that degree with us. Now, moving forward, we do offer dual degree options as well for the students. You can combine your MBA with any of the other degrees and make it a dual degree. Masters of Professional Accounting with an MBA, MIT with an MBA, or MIT HM with an MBA. Now, whether you choose a single major or a double major, the duration remains the same, which is 2 years, and the total tuition fee remains the same as well. In terms of academic requirements for dual majors, whichever major you're choosing, if you're choosing accounting and MBA, you need to have a background either in accounting or an MBA. So even if you're a business student wanting to come and do MBA, you will be able to do it. So either one background is acceptable as an academic entry for our dual majors. The last program on this list is Masters of Education with an MBA. Now, this is a very interesting program. And I'm quite proud to say that we are actually the only university in Australia who are offering an educational management dual degree at the master's level. Uh, Masters of Education with an MBA is an educational management degree, perfect for someone who's coming in with teaching background and teaching qualification, and then topping up their qualification with this degree will make them eligible for teacher registration in Australia, and they will be able to work. And we have extensive examples with our current students who've been able to get their teacher registration and eventually working for the public schools here in Australia. Entry requirement for this program as compared to a single Masters of Education program are quite low. So you need IELTS of 6.5 with no subscore below 6 to enter this program. The only thing to remember is just this degree in itself. If a student is coming from if the student is coming from non-teaching background, including qualification and work experience, they will not be eligible for teacher registration in Australia. But if they have that prior experience and prior qualification, with this degree, they will be eligible for teacher registration in Australia. So a quite important point to remember. But these are the only programs that we offer here at the Brisbane campus. So it's easy to remember, and dual degrees are quite popular for students. Students coming in most cases, choose those dual degrees because it's the way I like to say it, it's two for the price of one, because you're not spending extra time, you're not spending extra money, but you're graduating with a dual degree here in Australia. So these are all the programs. I'll move on from here. Now, key features at the Brisbane campus, and I think I've already mentioned a few of these points. Look at it in the heart of Brisbane city and easily accessible by bus, train, or the ferry that we have in the Brisbane River. Right next to the Queen Street shopping center and walking distance from every amenities that we talk about. Now, job links, I did mention. Job links is a employment service provider, which is designed only for James Cook University Brisbane students, and we only support our students. This is a dedicated service for our students, free of charge. Being our student, they don't pay anything for this service. We help them with part-time and graduate employment, internships, and of course, skills and trainings. Perfect for someone who's coming in a high school student who's getting into a university for their bachelor's degree. They've never worked before, and they want to understand how the Australian work environment works. So we train them as basic as how to prepare a proper CV, how to prepare a good LinkedIn profile, and then training them on making the most common job that students get into after arriving in Australia as a part-time job is hospitality. We provide them with hospitality training, barista training. We get them the certification, and as I mentioned earlier, all of this is done without any charges. Being a JCU student, they don't pay any extra charges, and they get that full support. Moving ahead, small class sizes. Considering the size of the campus, we maintain maximum classroom sizes would be around 50 students in a classroom. Just to give you an idea, we do have subjects where we have more than 200 students enrolled in a subject. We split them, so we don't like to have more than 50 students in a classroom. So it's student to professor ratio that is quite important to us, because it's the experience that we are talking about for the students here in Australia. Mental health and well-being support. We have a dedicated counselor available on campus for students. Considering students are away from their families, at times they do go through those the rough patches where they need that additional support. So we do have those counselors available on campus, and again, free of charge for our students. They do not pay any extra for these services that they've been provided by the university. We do have learning advisors available as well for students on campus, practical advice and strategies to assist students, of course, at all levels in their program. Just to give you an example, a fresh student coming into the education system in Australia, the very first trimester, they've been asked to do a 5,000 word assessment. At times, students get lost in that because they're coming from a non-English speaking background, or different parts of the world. So we have a dedicated team that actually supports them in those assessments. We're not going to tell you what to write, but we will tell you how to write, and that helps to improve the grades of the students, and they become eligible for all those additional scholarships that we have on campus available for them, academic excellence scholarships. So we have support services available for students from the start till the end, and there are dedicated teams present on campus to support them. With accommodation as well, at times this becomes a big question whether getting an accommodation is easy or not. We do work with different partners. We don't have our own accommodation because we are a city campus, but we do partner with accommodations which are literally 3 to 5 minutes walking distance from the campus, right in the heart of Brisbane CBD. And we whenever the student is ready to come in, if you're struggling with the accommodation, just reach out to us and we'll assist you to find an accommodation for them as close as possible to the campus, because we have that working relationship with these accommodation providers, and we always have certain rooms available for our students. Job links. I would like to talk a little bit more about job links and what we do. Now, job links can help our students. I've already mentioned about resume assistance and market search. The important aspect about job links is we assist our students at all levels. With the programs that we offer here at the Brisbane campus, whether it's an undergraduate or a postgraduate program, students have the opportunity to convert one of their face-to-face subjects into an internship or a project work. Now, as soon as they do that, that becomes a professional internships, and the team at JobLinks support them to find that internship for them, depending on the program they're studying. But in addition to that, students who are looking to do additional internships to gain that work experience in Australia, we can still assist them to get those internships, because we work with those employers regularly who are actively seeking whether they're looking for an internship, whether they have an internship opportunity or part-time job opportunity. We work with them regularly, and we send our students for those opportunities. So great access for students to those employers via our team. Not just the internship, even for part-time job opportunities. As I said earlier, we work very closely with these employers in Brisbane, and they reach out to us on a regular basis as soon as they have these opportunities available, and we direct our students to those opportunities. Internships, part-time jobs, and of course, upon graduation, students are looking for those full-time employment opportunities as well, and we do assist our students with those opportunities. One thing I like to say is we can help our students to get through that door. We find those doors for them. Of course, they crack the interviews, or what they do in those interviews is a secondary thing, but we make those opportunities available for our students regularly, and we've seen success with our students based on these opportunities. So a great platform that we create for our students on a regular basis, which is very different to what a lot of other providers do, because it's a very personalized service that we have on offer at the Brisbane campus. Coordinating work experiences and internships, as I mentioned, as basic as TFN and ABN application. Again, the team is there to support the students who've arrived in Australia fresh. They don't know much about it, but we're there to support them. Regular seminars and workshops are organized on campus regularly for students so that they can get the first-hand information on what's happening and how to prepare for those opportunities in the market. We organize two fairs on campus every year. One is a job fair and one is a career fair. Now, job fair mainly focuses on part-time opportunities. Students who are looking for part-time work opportunities in Brisbane, of course, to make that extra money for their living expenses. And at the same time, we do organize a career fair as well, which mainly focuses on internship opportunities and postgraduate employment opportunities. And the employers that are coming to the campus are the ones who are actively recruiting, and they're looking for those fresh graduates to get started at their organization. So what we're doing is we're connecting our graduates with the employers who are actively recruiting, and that bridges that gap for our students, and they get into the workforce earlier. Reflecting back to the rankings that we were talking about earlier, 5 stars for graduate employment and 5 stars for graduate starting salary. Now, these are the services that helps us to maintain those rankings for our university and help our students to get into the workforce early as compared to a lot of other peers that they're competing with in the market. Some of the companies that we work regularly with now, there are quite a lot of agencies mentioned. It includes accounting firms, it includes hospitality firms, engineering firms. So we work with we work with the diverse market recruitment companies where we're putting our students through, of course, and they're getting the opportunity to work there or do their internships and then start their careers in Australia. Now, this is the exciting part. Okay, I'm done talking about the courses, I'm done talking about what we do, but the scholarships. Now, this is something that we announced earlier this year, the ASEAN Scholarship for James Cook University, Brisbane. Now, September is the last intake for this scholarship, so a great time for students to avail this. We have not yet announced the 2026 scholarship, so again, I'm not too sure whether it's going to stay at the same amount or it's going to be different, but we're going to be announcing that very soon. So 30% ASEAN scholarship for all successful applicants. And the easiest answer to the question where what do a student need to do to be eligible for this scholarship is if your student after application is successful in getting an offer letter from the university, they will get the 30% scholarship because entry requirements are designed in a way that they're very close to the minimum academic requirement that we have for the program and the scholarship requirement. So they're very close. So in most cases, if your student is successful in getting an offer letter, they will be getting the 30% scholarship. In addition to that, we have an additional 5% scholarship for the students, which we call English Proficiency Scholarship. So if a student is able to provide an IELTS of 7 overall with no subscore below 6 or equivalent in PTE, they will be able to add that 5% extra, making it a 35% scholarship on the total tuition fee for the program, not just 1 year. So for the full duration of the program, they will be able to get the 35% scholarship. And again, as I said, September intake is coming up. This is still available. So let's make the best use of it and get as many applications as we can to avail this big scholarship. Now, 30% or 5%, it sounds good, of course, but how does it reflect in the amount? So undergraduate programs, after 30% scholarship, it goes down to $24,225 per year. Postgraduate program, after 30% scholarship, is $26,077 a year. 5% additional, I've mentioned it over here, IELTS of 7 with no subscore below 6 or a PTE of 65 with no subscore below 54, they'll be able to add that 5%. So the amounts mentioned for undergraduate and postgraduate on my screen are after 30%. If they are eligible for the 35% scholarship, we can read down at the bottom of the screen. Undergraduate student will be able to get a total scholarship of $37,617 for the 3 years, and for postgraduate student, it's going to be 26,698, 35% scholarship for the 2 year degree that they're going to study. If a student is getting the full 35% scholarship, my total tuition fee actually goes to below $50,000 for 2 years. So it's under $25,000 a year. A great price for a university, considering a university tuition fee, because we sell our master's program at around 74 to $76,000, and undergraduate programs are over $100,000. So it's a big saving for the students, and they get to experience the Brisbane life, of course, and a great course offering that we have available. Applications and entry requirements. I just want to go through it once. I'm pretty sure Yes Education's team supports you with these processes, and they're very well aware of the processes. But I thought I'll take this opportunity when I'm talking to all the partners face to face. Application form, of course, we don't use we use physical applications. So your student will be required to fill out an application form. There are three sets of GS forms that they need to do. So GS questionnaire, GS form confirming their visa status, if they've traveled overseas, if they've had any visa refusals in the past, and then we do have a form which says financial matrix. Now, considering we're talking about Indonesia, it's an assessment level 1 country, so we can just provide the basic information on what funds are available. You don't need to supply the financial documents when you submit the application, just the information on what's available. Transcripts and certificates, of course, English score, a CV for someone who's worked for some time, of course, if there is a gap, to prove what gap was there, where they worked. And I've already mentioned about the finances. English entry requirement for all my master's programs is 6.5 with no subscore below 6, and for all my undergraduate programs is 6 with no subscore below 6. And that's how we reach towards the end of my presentation. So summary, why JCU Brisbane? Again, competitive price. I don't think I need to say it again. I think I've already mentioned about the pricing. It's pretty competitive out there in the market. The quality of education that we offer and the support service that we offer. Career counseling, the most important aspect, because we are focusing on work integrated learning, and we're preparing those ready graduates for the markets, and they're getting into the workforce early. The great internship opportunities, an amazing city, and a beautiful state that we live in, Queensland. We call it the Sunshine State because it's got the best weather as compared to a lot of other cities in Australia. Home away from home community, and of course, the best return on an investment from a student's point of view. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm happy to take questions.
Yes, thank you very much, Phil, for the presentation. Again, I think our team has announced again in a group for the scholarship, so you can take notes on it. So it's up to 35% for student with a good score of English, which is IELTS or the score, as mentioned on screen previously. And also, we have announced the special incentive for the first two counselors who sent the first two students to JCUB Brisbane for the September 2025 intake. Again, it's for the September 2025 intake. So if you have questions or you have prospective students in mind, just feel free to chat in the type box for the Q&A session, and we will gladly answer all your inquiries. I think they are still waiting and thinking. Yeah. Oh, we already got questions already. Are you
Mhm.
able to read the questions in the chat box? Okay.
I can't see the questions in the chat box
Oh,
at the
okay.
moment.
So I'm gonna read it. Are you
Mhm.
able to accept students who previously has a visa rejection before? And how about if student has a gap in their studies or they are too mature?
Uh, Good question. Great question. Now, with the visa refusal, it depends where the visa refusal is from. If it is from Australia, and if it is more than 1 year old visa refusal, We can consider that application depending on how the situation has changed for the student and has the applicant's profile improved since the time they've had their previous visa refusal. If it's a visa refusal from any other country, definitely we can accept that application, and again they'll need to meet all the requirements. The main question, of course, comes in for the previous Australian visa refusals. So it's going to play the most important thing to see there would be how they've changed their profile from the time they had their first visa refusal to now. How strong are they financially? How strong are they academically? Have they gained any extra academic qualification or work experience? So case by case basis, the simple answer is more than 1 year old visa refusal. Case by case basis, yes, we can consider it.
Okay, thank you. Again, it's based on a student's case, and I believe in the application form, and there's a GS questions as well, and that's gonna be help the team to assess the applications one by one. Okay, now
100%.
yes, for the next question. Okay, this is quite a long one, so I'm gonna read it one by one. Okay, so the first one is what's the most favorite programs or major in GCB right now?
So right now, if we talk about the undergraduate, Bachelors of Information Technology and Bachelors of Hospitality, Tourism and Events Management, they are the top two programs for us at the undergraduate level. For postgraduate level, it depends on the market that we are talking about. If I only talk about Southeast Asia, IT is very popular, and I'm seeing a growing interest in Masters of Engineering Management right now. Just to tell you a bit more about this program, education in Masters of Engineering Management is a project management degree for engineers. So, students coming in with the engineering background have an opportunity to do that management degree, a project management degree with us, and we have access to a lot of engineering firms where students do their regular internships and, of course, go ahead. And then again, Masters of Education is another program which is very popular. So, IT, engineering management, and education.
Okay, thank you. And the next one is the question about scholarship. Okay, so we have talked about the scholarship, the 30% and additional 5% for the students. But
Mhm.
they're asking if there are any scholarship that cover the living costs as well.
No, unfortunately, no. So we don't offer any student support scholarships, the living cost scholarships, but there is additional scholarship available for students, which is called Academic Excellence Scholarship. So the 30% or the 35%, whatever the students are eligible for, these are the scholarships that they can secure when they put their applications in and when they get the offer letter. But after they commence their studies with us, we have academic excellence scholarship, which is up to $1,000 starting from the second trimester for maintaining high GPAs. So student now I would recommend all the partners to just go through our Facebook page, social page, and see the Academic Excellence Award ceremonies that we do. Students get up to $1,000 every term, starting from the second term, for maintaining high GPAs, and there are different slabs over there. So that's the additional scholarship that students can get, which can support them towards their tuition fee.
Okay, thank you. The next question is about the English test. Do you
Mhm.
have a free internal English test just in case the student have to retake the either
We,
PG or
we
anything?
can we can definitely coordinate that. Now, this is something which used to be. It's been a long time I've heard this question, to be honest, because we used to do these tests with a lot of markets, but since the time DHA has become really strict, and we've seen strictness from the government, we don't offer that in a lot of market. But for Indonesian market, definitely we can do it. We do have our own English school here at JCU Brisbane campus. It's called Serena Russo Institute. So we have dedicated teachers here or the assessors who can assist with that test. So yes, we can provide that test. The simple answer is yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And then do you accept one skill will take IELTS?
Yes.
Okay. And then what's the minimum deposit for the students to pay?
Three subjects. So
Yes.
one trimester.
Okay, one trimester. So in average, how much it is?
So depending on the program, it's around 13 to $14,000,
Okay,
undergraduate or postgraduate. Yes.
okay. And
So
then
that's the three subject. So the easiest way to calculate it is whether it's an undergraduate or a postgraduate student, it's three subjects is what they're going to study in their first trimester, and that's the deposit we ask for. Plus, of course, they have their OSHCs. Plus, there is student services and amenities fee, SSA fee, which is a compulsory fee for every student coming into Australia. It's not a huge amount. I think for three subjects, it comes up to around 130, $140, but that's the deposit they're required to pay.
okay, thank you. And the last one is it possible to do the credit transfer?
Great question. Yes, so we do credits. We don't have many partners at the moment in regards to articulation arrangements in Indonesia, but we accept credit transfer from all institutes depending on what the student has studied. So it's considered case by case basis, but yes, we do accept credit transfer. So if you have a student who's, let's say, in their second or third year in one of the universities in Indonesia, definitely submit their documents with their official transcripts. We'll do the assessment and we'll provide the credits to the student. And they'll still be eligible for the scholarship. So even if they're getting credits, we will still apply the 30% scholarship on the remaining program that they're going to study with us.
Hmm. Yeah, so again, case by case can we just send the applications and the details of the programs and subjects and etc. And the admission team gonna check on it and how many credit transfer can be accepted in GCU. And do not forget scholarship still will be applied.
100%. And just make sure when you're filling out the application form, when you're choosing a program, there is an exemption tab there. Make sure to tick that exemption or credit exemptions, so that the admissions team can assess the credits for that and mention that in the email.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I would like to remind the participants once again. We are excited to announce $100, 100 Australian dollars, right? As prize to for the two Muslims who secure the first two student programs to the 2025 intake. So let me make sure about it. The thing is it $100 per counselor or
Yes.
okay, okay.
So
So
for the first two, definitely $100 each.
okay, thank you. So that's the big announcement for today's webinar, which is very special. It's not a Kahoot quiz, but it's something bigger.
It is 100%, 100%. We are
Yeah,
like with Kahoot quiz. Yes, everyone does it. We'll do it differently.
yeah, okay. So yeah, I think we've answered all the questions that have been popped out. Does
Okay.
anyone have another question so far? Okay, so after this, can we share the PowerPoint presentations for the agents?
Sure,
Okay,
you can. Yeah,
great. Yeah, so everyone, we're gonna give a post-webinar email which included the presentations and the recording of this session as well, so you can take a look at it again and refresh your memory every time you want to meet the students or the parents regarding.
100%.
Mhm. Okay, so if there's no further questions, I think our sessions will be closed early. Do you have anything else to add for
Oh, just try us, send your first student, and you won't be disappointed, is what I can say, because it's a very different experience. And I speak very highly about it because I've experienced it myself. I'm a JC alumni. I did graduate from the same campus many, many, many years ago. So I'm getting old now. But yes, I talk from my experience where the support services that I've experienced and what we are providing to our students now is something that everyone appreciates. And we make sure we are producing. I think I'm repeating myself, but we make sure we are producing um, ready graduates from our campus, and we are paving that path for them, and connecting them to the employers, which again at the end of the day, after investing so much money and time, the outcome that everyone is looking for is a great career, and we support our students with that.
Okay, then it will be very nice because you've experienced the study in GCU Brisbane as well, so you can share the support to the agents as well. support
100%.
campus is really helpful. And I believe the admission team is pretty responsive as well. So feel free if you have any questions or applications, just let us know. Drop us a
Hmm.
question or chat. You know, Margareta will always ready to help you, either or the other team of the Yes Education as well.
I just remembered one thing with your last statement in terms of our turnaround times, because
Mhm.
they're very crucial in most
Yeah.
cases. If you're submitting a full application with me, no credits assessment, we will get back to you probably in maximum 3 days. If there are credit assessments, maximum 1 week. We do the credit assessment, we give you a conditional offer or unconditional offer depending on the documents. So within a week, you will have an offer letter from us. So we're very good with our turnaround times.
Okay, that would be great because time is of the essence, I believe, for all the
100%.
companies. Yes. Okay, so that's gonna be another support from GCU team for your application as well. Okay, so if there's no other questions, I'm really glad that you are joining us today, Flippin. Thank you for such an insightful session for us. And remember, everyone, there's still scholarship for the September 2025 intake. So if you want to ask anything, just drop us questions. And if you have applications, as usual, just send the applications through your dedicated admission team, the email for your education team, and we will gladly handle your applications. So thank you so much for the day, Pippin. See you
Thank you
everyone.
so much. See you guys. Thank you so much for your time. Bye
Next
bye.
webinar. Bye bye.